Hi, welcome to VNN. This week we will turn to literature instead of politics. That should be something refreshing. We have with us Kim Cayer, actress and writer. Born in Winnipeg, and she was raised in a small town of Wassar. That's right, it's in Wassar in Manitoba. Kim Cayer is the daughter of an ice road trucker and who was a well-known newspaper columnist as well. After a few years with the Winnipeg Police Department, Kim starred in a K-Tel commercial selling the Bird Dance album. That's right, Kim. Okay. This led to her move to Toronto in search of a show business career. And from she began with some low budget horror movies, and then to a prestigious CBC mini series. Kim is a entertainer. She has a lot of gigs and she keeps busy writing. To date, she has had 3 plays produced titled Memories of Marilyn, The Petting Zoo, and Saving Mother Earth, a memoir titled Dirty Numbers, and 2 novels, Lights, Camera, Dissatisfaction, and No Fire Escape in Hell. The latest book is Kitty Casino, which will be released in next month in July, very soon. Kim is a mother. Kim is the mother of 3 20-year-olds and many animals. How many animals?
Well, not so many anymore. We'll say 3 animals and a fish, if you count a fish as an animal.
What animals are those?
I have 2 cats left and a German Shepherd dog. And that one's still only about 8 years old.
And what are their names?
The German Shepherd is Dee Dee, and one of the cats' name is Wiggy, and the other one is Lucifer. Lucifer.
Lucifer, right? Okay. And then does the fish have the name?
Ponyo, like Ponyo the Fourth.
Okay, very good. I think you were in Manitoba recently, isn't it? Winnipeg?
I was there for 2 months, yeah, with my mom. My father just passed, so I went out to hang out with my mom.
Tell us something about your life in Manitoba before you came to Toronto.
Okay, to be honest, I was working at the police department. I was in the records, before I left now, I was in the finance unit. And I was really bored. And I started just dabbling in acting. And it spoke to me. It was just, I loved doing it. And I just thought, I'm really just bored with life here in Winnipeg. Mind you, Winnipeg has really grown so much since I left. But at the time, when the K-Tel commercial came out, oh my goodness. It was like I starred in like a Steven Spielberg film. I was so well known everywhere. So I thought I'll come out to Toronto and kick some butt out here.
Did it work out well for you?
It worked out pretty good, I would say. I'll tell you what happened, what got in the way. I was doing very well as like the B-movie horror queen. I got a lot of those roles. And then I ended up getting Chasing Rainbows, which was a very prestigious part. Mm-hmm. Well, I played a hooker, but still, it was like, CBC. So that was 2 years' work. But then I got a commercial in which I played Marilyn Monroe. And after that, there was no looking back. Marilyn Monroe took over my life. So.
I know I've seen some pictures. They're wonderful. And recently you were nominated for the Mississauga Arts Council Literature Award. How was the feeling?
Well, I was told not to say nominated. I was told to say I was a finalist.
Oh yeah, sorry. So you were a finalist, yeah.
Yeah.
I think they were
I just want to say, even if I did not win, even when it was announced that I was a finalist, it already felt like I won. I was just, that's all I ever really wanted, was to be recognized, my work to be recognized by my peers. And I could ask for no more.
And that was an established writer's finalist.
Yeah. La-di-da.
And among these books, I mean, are there any autobiographical elements in your writing, in your books?
It's funny you say that because I was thinking about my last one that came out, No Fire Escape, and about the conversation I had with my kids once when I said, I think I'm gonna like leave the house. You guys are big enough, you can take care of yourselves, and I'm gonna live in my car. And I never did live in my car. I came very close though. And I just thought, but what if I had taken my line of work and went and lived in my vehicle and tried to still subsist like that? So that thinking led me to write that book. So that was called No Fire Escape in Hell. And that one did quite well for me.
You write short stories and poetry as well?
No, I take the long road. I do the big, 400-page novels and got to try and cut it back. And so that's what I like to write, a story, a big, long story.
Do you get the time to write in between your gigs and other entertainment work?
It's funny that in the pandemic, when you think I could have written up a storm, I just really felt not inspired. And now, since middle of March, it just went from 0 to 60 in no time. Now we're working like crazy. But I've had a book in my head that's, fermenting. And now I'm keep having like little dialogue, little lines I could use. So I know now it's time to get out of my head and onto the computer. So.
How has the pandemic affected your gigs? I mean, it has affected work, isn't it?
The pandemic?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, for the first year, they tried to get us to do Zoom shows. And it's so not the same.
Yeah, I know.
That was 2020. 2021, they started having you back a little bit, but you had to wear a mask. And I perform a lot. Most of my performances are now for children. And they like to see your expression. They like to see, are you smiling? Are you pretending you're this or that? And when you're all covered up, yeah. So now every parent is throwing their child a party, and for every reason, you lost a tooth, big party.
I mean, you're enacted sort of, you've become Marilyn Monroe, the Queen of England, and the clowns, costumes. I mean, which is your favorite?
Well, I'll say one thing that I always wanted to do was just to write. That is my favorite, to just, sometimes I would go and I would book a really cheap hotel room for 3 days in Niagara Falls. They'd be like, $120 for the 3 days. And I would, edit it, but finish proofreading a book, or I'd start another book there. Just to, I don't know, I just love doing that. But when it goes back to being the characters, Marilyn Monroe, I could have done that in my sleep. I did that. I would say I've done maybe 10,000 performances of Marilyn.
I say.
Yeah. But oddly, in 2019, Mrs. Claus, holy moly, I guess now I'm at that stage. So Mrs. Claus is quite a popular character.
Are you a member of any guilds, any guild, actors guild or something? Are you a member of those associations?
Yeah, I'm a member of ACTRA, the film business. And I don't do any more stage play, so I dropped out of equity. So that's...
When you're in Manitoba, you were in Winnipeg, isn't it? Mainly Winnipeg?
No, not for ACTRA.
No. When you were in Manitoba, were you in Winnipeg?
Only just a couple of times. I was in the hometown where I grew up is called Vassar.
Vassar, yeah.
Yeah, Vassar, like the girls' school. So that's where I spent almost all my time. Every time I get a holiday time off, that's where I want to go, is Vassar. So I don't know why I find it so special, but I do.
It's a very beautiful town.
It is a beautiful town, beautiful prairie town, but we're in the middle of the bush. It's all surrounded by timber, and
Oh,
and deer walk through town, and
oh, so there's
yeah,
a lot of woods. It's not a flat, not flat land. Huh?
it's pretty flat, yeah, but lots of wildlife. There's lots of bear and deer and you name it.
Tell us about something about your new book,
About Kitty Casino.
Kitty Casino. Yeah.
I just can't wait to have this one out. I can't wait to have people read it. It's a story, like somebody had once recently said, it's a roller coaster of a ride. And it's not really about Kitty Casino, although she makes things happen. It's about this girl named Tammy, who's just a rascal. She only lives for herself. Party, party. Everything's a party. She does have 3 kids, but mom will look after them. And then one day, Kitty Casino needs a little attention, and Tammy's forced to look after her and trying to, still be a party girl and growing up at, the age of 35.
Mm-hmm.
And it's, she worked with a rock and roll band for a long time. So she still got that. I want to be on the road, and she wants to feed her kids like junk food. So, and it's a tearjerker. It's funny. I think that everybody is going to they're going to find something in it.
Is it very different from your other books?
Well, I think it's maybe similar to Lights, Camera, Dissatisfaction in that it talks about some pretty unique characters, which in this day and age are probably, getting more normal, but they're kind of different characters that the rock and roll band runs into and hangs out with. So
you produced 3 plays, isn't it? Memories of Marilyn, The Petting Zoo, Saving Mother Earth. I mean, are they different from each other? The plot. What were the storylines? What was the plots like?
Let's see now. The Memories of Marilyn, that was it was like a true story and a fictional story in one. So that was a play. I went on the road with that one for quite a few months. So that was that one was one of my pet projects back then. And then the petting zoo one was just for kids. We did it a few times at kids' schools, kids' parties, some events.
Mm-hmm.
And that had no storyline. It was just funny and goofy. And the Saving Mother Earth one is a play with a message, but it's also, again, I don't think I could ever write anything that's doesn't have a hint of comedy or, tongue in cheek.
When you say it went on the road, you took it to the road straight. I mean, where did you travel with these shows?
For which ones, Bala?
Memories of Marilyn. I mean, you went out.
That one was Edmonton. We did 2 runs in Edmonton, Winnipeg, Vancouver, and there was one more that I'm missing. There was like 4 different cities. And then the other 2 plays are just, whoever books us, we're there.
You don't want to write plays again?
I have a couple in my mind, and the same as screenplays. I used to write movie scripts when I first started off in the business, and I was acting. I lived in Toronto for a while, and then I moved to Vancouver. And when I was out there, I wrote a film script that got optioned. And then I came back to Toronto and I wrote another script, and that one got optioned by a fairly notable film director. They never got made into movies, but still.
So are they solo performances, or were there other actors in these plays? There
was other actors. In Memories of Marilyn, there was one other actor. His name was Jack Aykroyd. I really would like to know whatever happened to him, but he was amazing, and he played Joe DiMaggio, he played Arthur Miller, he played a newspaper reporter, on and on, like different characters. Whereas I got to play Marilyn and Molly, like 2 So I gave myself an easy role.
And in the petting zoo, I mean, did you have real animals on the show, or?
No, but that's where when I wrote that play, I was like looking at all my costumes and thought, I have a cow costume, I have a skunk costume, I have a reindeer. Like I had all these animal costumes. So I wrote it around this girl who wants a pet, but she wants an unusual pet. So a fairy godmother grants her a wish and all these unusual pets, and she gets to experience them. Oh, it makes me want to do it again, that play.
What about you? You was accompanied by music and an orchestra or something? No.
No, just like a couple times going to a gym and just talk really loud. This is way back, like even before I would do, when they have like these microphones, you put them on your ear and that. No, just go and talk loudly over the teachers who are babbling.
But this you said there was a memoir, isn't it? The Dirty Numbers.
Uh-huh.
Tell us something about that. The title sounds, it's very interesting.
Well, that was a book that it was I'll just tell you the whole story about it. I was a really good secretary for the Winnipeg Police Department before I moved out to Toronto.
Okay.
So then I needed a part-time job, between acting gigs, and I found one. And when I went to go apply for it, I had no idea. They said it was like a telephone receptionist job.
Mm-hmm.
So when I went for my first day of training, oh my gosh, it was like my very first phone call was a revelation. And then, so I said, I'll try and stick it out. I didn't know it was a phone fantasy.
Okay,
that kind of thing. But I want everybody to know that I was the person who's like, hello, do you have a credit card? I wasn't, panting and moaning or anything. But I heard so much, so many weird things that I started keeping secret notes. And then one day I thought I have to purge my system of all this ugly knowledge I have. So that's what I wrote it. That was my self-published book.
And this Lights, Camera, Dissatisfaction, that's a complete novel, huh?
That's a novel. And again, that one, see, this is what kind of worries me a little bit. I don't want to always have to write when I'm under pressure or stressed out. But that one goes back to my acting, when I was doing a lot of acting. And I would get a little, dissatisfied sometimes with how things are going or how an audition went. So that was my release, to write fictional stuff, and that horrible casting director became this other, person in my book. So that was how that book came about.
And your children, are they into acting, writing?
Not writing at all. Although one time I went into my middle child's room and I saw some paperwork. I was trying to clean up her messy room. And as I picked up some of her paperwork and there were poems, I was so impressed with them and I told her about it. And of course she got all upset with me and I'll never write a poem again. You're snooping. But she does write some really nice stuff. My oldest child is a complete entertainer.
Mm-hmm.
And my youngest one, he's a great entertainer, but he doesn't have a lot of the skills. Like, you got to have a few skills to get a lot of work.
Are you busy with gigs now? It's very busy time, huh?
Actually, today's my only day off in the last 20 days.
Okay.
And same with my daughter, she has no days off except for today.
Mm-hmm. It's all in downtown Toronto or GTA in the Toronto
everywhere. On the weekend we have like Bowmanville. We're going out there for a very simple job, but I guess they don't have face painters out there. And we get around a lot. But I'll tell you, I love to work in the Mississauga, Oakville, Brampton area. That's so convenient, especially with my truck.
I heard that you injured your knee recently. What were you climbing a roof or riding a horse?
No, it was actually, I was standing on the back of my truck. I had the tailgate open and I was unloading them.
Okay.
I did a circus workshop. I taught a circus workshop. Not that I'm a, trapeze artist. And then I was gonna get out. My daughter said, just jump out. I don't think so. And she's like, what are you, old? So I jumped out.
And
And I heard I did something to my tendon. So now she feels bad.
So your mom is in Winnipeg now, in
My
Manitoba.
mom's in Vassar. Yeah. She's still in the big house with the big yard. And she's, it was always her deal to take care of the inside, and my dad took care of the outside.
Yeah.
So now that's, it's like 2 acres or something to mow the lawn. We'll just gotta, day by day, I guess, see how it goes.
So what is the secret of your writing? Any secrets, any plots? How do you structure your writing? I mean, do you have a plot in mind and then add sentences, add dialogue? How do you do it?
Oh, that's such a good question, Bala. Like I said, first of all, it stays in my head. It stays in my head, and then one idea keeps coming bigger and bigger, and then I start getting like if this happened, then this would happen. I almost have a whole thing in my head, and then I start putting it on paper. Like scenes I would like to see happen in a general sort of order. And then when I write it, sometimes things change. Sometimes it could be a lot of filler before I get to that plot line. And then when the ending comes up, it's that too can always change, because now I've gotten to know the characters and they wouldn't do that. Or so my next one is about, I have one already written. We'll see what happens. I still got to do like work on it. But I have another idea in my head. And I wish I didn't have this idea, but it's just there. And it's about Sasquatch. I should show you all my notes. I've been researching them.
That sounds interesting. That'll be the next story.
My next book. My whole book. It'll probably sell 8 copies.
No, but you write for yourself. I think that's the main thing of a writer. You write, you should be happy.
Yeah, and that's true. I think I just write mainly. I don't write for an audience, especially when I'm writing. It's just, this feels good. This is what I want to say. So it's the editing where you have to take out, yeah, that's what you wanted to say, but that's not allowed.
Yeah, thank you, Kim. Thank you for appearing on our show. And it was very interesting. And of course, you all heard Kim Cayer. She's an actress and writer. And a new book, Kitty Casino, will be out very soon. In I think the early July, should be out and available worldwide. It's called Kitty Casino. Very interesting. I read the excerpts of it, and it's wonderful. Thank you, Kim. Thank you
Bala.
for being on the show.